Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Tickling Tuesday. Today I want to make a Miss You card using the bird brain stamp set from the Alleyway Stamps, and I'm using the big bird with the big eye, and I'll tell you later why I picked this one. I started out with some khaki cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and I have a card base and also a panel which is slightly smaller than my card base. And the khaki cardstock is close to craft, you can see it here, but it's a little more like a yellow craft color. And it's nice and sturdy and very good for card bases. Then I picked the Paper Mania Happy Days paper pad because it has some nice patterns and I have a lot of leftovers in there and I want to do some paper piecing, and I think leftovers are so good for paper piecing. I do not like to throw stuff away, but I have tons of leftovers, so I really have to use them up. Then I picked this this bird and stamped it with Simon Says Stamp black ink onto my pattern paper. I used the Simon Says Stamp ink because I will not be coloring anyway, and I think this is a nice crisp black ink. I stamped this little cutie 4 times, but in fact I will only use him 3 times. I didn't know that before, I just had to try out the spacing on my card. So I stamped this onto the panel, not onto the card base, but onto the panel that I have, and I just stamped it a few times, and then I saw that I only have 4 of those birds, and I will have 1 bird as a whole, so I only need 3 of the pattern paper birdies. And this is why you want to use an image that does not have too many lines inside. It's for this technique it's important to have a shape that you can recognize even if you do not have the inner lines. So if you cut the birdie out, you still see this is a bird because of the shape. I stamped him on white cardstock also because I need the white eyes, and then I took out my scissors and cut all the birdies out for my paper piecing. And I also cut the eyes out, and then I adhered those eyes to the birdies. I picked 3 colors of the pattern paper. In the beginning there were, I guess, 2 of the green, 2 green patterns. I only picked 1 green, 1 blue and 1 red, and this looks so nice. Then they got their eyes, and then I took out a warm gray marker to color the beak a little bit, so you can still see the color through that marker, but well, the beak does have a slightly different color from the rest of the bird. Then I adhered those with my tape runner to the card front, or to my panel, and I made sure to have the second bird without coverage because this is the one I will be cutting out soon. So I adhered those down, and then I cut off the excess. And as you can see on the back, this is also some, I tried out some stamping on that paper and it didn't work, but I kept this for another project, and as you can see, now is the time to use it. Then I took my X-Acto knife, or my craft knife, and cut this one little birdie out. And as I said, it's important to have a shape that you can, as you can see, the bird is cut out now, and you can still see that this was the bird. So you do not think, what is it? Is it a balloon, or is it, I don't know, an apple or something? You can see, okay, this is the bird, and this was exactly what I wanted and why I picked this particular bird. Then I rounded 2 of the corners because I just like the effect that it gives. It's a nice detail. And then I picked out the alphabet soup again because I wanted to have a German sentiment. I wanted to say du fehlst hier, which means you are missing here. I think you are missing here is nice because it's not like I miss you or we miss you, but you can use this card if you send it as a group or if you send it as a single person. So this is why it just I just wanted it to say you are missing here. So I drew a line with my pencil, and then I started stamping. I cut this out because I wanted to have the stamping as exact as possible, which means I had to have my head on camera, so I cut that out. It was boring to look at anyway. So I did the stamping, and because I did some smudging last time with the Simon Says stamping, it seems that the ink, if it's not totally dry, yeah, it sits on top of the paper a little bit. It soaks into the paper, but it sits on top also. So I used my heat gun to dry it first before I erased the pencil line. And my my corner chomper is quite old, and it does not cut perfectly anymore. So I have to go in with my scissors, and yeah, I have to clean up the edges a little bit. Then I took some dimensional tape to adhere the panel to the front of the card to make the missing bird pop even more. I really wanted people to see that there's this bird cut out. And if you have the same cardstock for the card base and for the panel, yeah, the popping up the panel does help a little bit. My last step is always the same. I try to find things that add a nice little detail to the card. So first of all, I took the Signo Brot Uniball white gel pen and drew some stitching lines around the panel, very close to the panel, because I like this effect. And then the second detail that I added was taking a gray marker. I think it's a Copic C1 light gray marker, and I added a shadow around the missing bird because I think this makes this hole even stand out a little more. And yeah, I think it takes the eye to that hole, and yeah, it's the focus there. So I went around that a few times, because in the beginning, if you take the marker and yeah, and color the khaki cardstock, it looks quite dark, and I thought, oh, this looks nice. And when it was dry, it was light again. So I went in again and added some more shadow until I liked what I saw, and that finished the card. I want to show you one more thing. The Alienware Stamps does have a stamp set with a perfect sentiment for this, which says, "Without you, a piece is missing." But as I said, I wanted to have a German sentiment. But this is the Pieces stamp set, and this would perfectly match this project. So I hope you got inspired and your mojo got tickled, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching.